In this video, I'm going to show you how to update your t-shirt mockups for Instagram using PlaceIt and Affinity Designer. Let's go. Thanks for joining me on this video. My name is Juna with Detour Shirts, the channel all about helping you design and sell t-shirts online. If that's something you like to do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So in this video, I wanted to talk about Instagram, more specifically t-shirt mockups on Instagram. So one of the comments that I hear a lot on my Instagram is, how do you make these mockups on Instagram? Let me show you what my Instagram account looks like. Here it is. So I like to put my branding, my logo on it with Detour Shirts, and I put @Detour Shirts just in case this is being used somewhere else. Someone copies it and posts it somewhere else. They can see it's from me, Detour Shirts. And I also like to put available at Amazon, but you can put available at wherever you sell yours. I'm on Merch by Amazon, so that's why I put it. If you put RedBubble or TeePublic, if that's where you sell or wherever, I can show you how to do that. So that's what I want to do in this video. I want to show you how to upgrade your mockups for Instagram. If you're doing Instagram or social media, you might want to upgrade it. It helps when you have a mockup with a person on it, kind of makes it feel more real, that people can kind of understand what it looks like on a person instead of just putting a plain t-shirt with nothing on it, no background. A lot of times I see that, and that's okay if that's all you have, but I think you can use this technique that I'm going to show you to upgrade your t-shirt mockups and just make it look a little more professional. So lots to get into this video. You're going to want to stay to the end so you can see the final product, of course, and another edition of trend credits. So let's get started. So here I am on PlaceIt. You can see I'm not logged in at all. This is the free account. You can see it's asking me to log in, but I'm not. You can go here if you don't have an account. I do have an account, but I'm going to show you what it is if you don't have an account. You're going to have a lot more flexibility or a lot more choices when you do have an account. And I love it because I put mockups every time on here on Instagram. You can see I post mockups a lot, so it's worth it for me to get a membership just so I'm not using the same free stuff. But if you want to start, you can go here, mockups, t-shirts, right here. And if it doesn't say free on it, then it's not free. You're going to have to pay for it. So one way to find the free ones is just to go here and say free. So really easy. And you're going to see right here, like I said, the banner says free. So you can see you can just put your mockups right on these shirts. So I like to use the mockups with people in it. But if you want to use mockups without people, just hanging with a background, I think even this is a little better than just having the white background and a t-shirt floating in the white background. So I'm going to look for a person that I want to use on here. Like you see, there's just tons and tons of free images too. So you almost never have to buy PlaceIt if you don't want to. I just bought it because I like you can see there's even more variety on here for the not free stuff. So I'm going to go through these pages and find one that I like. And then when I find one, I'll show you what I do next. So I'm back. I went all the way to page 11. I mean, there were a lot of them, but I'm looking for something specific for the design that I'm doing. My design that I'm going to put on here is that hedgehog design that we showed before. So I want to look for like maybe a little girl or a boy that might want to do that. And I found this girl here. I think the hedgehog would look nice on this one. So you kind of want to match your design to the person. So if you're going to do a dad design, a Father's Day design, you might want to put it on a dad or someone that looks like a dad. If you're doing more of a cute design, maybe for women, of course, pick a woman. If you're doing more of a cutesy, for kids, then pick a kid. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to pick this one right here. So if you scroll over here, you're going to see what image size PlaceIt wants you to use, and it's 750 by 1200. So that's very important. We're going to have to go into Affinity Designer and design something at that size. If it's not that size, PlaceIt will not put it on the t-shirt. So let's go back into Affinity Designer, make sure we got that size 750 by 1200 for our design, and then we're going to come back here, put it on this t-shirt here, and then export it, and then we'll get to that point. So let's go into Affinity Designer now. So here I am in Affinity Designer. You can see this is the design that I want to put on the t-shirt. You might have seen this design in one of my earlier videos. I just want lots and lots of hedgehogs, right? It's on a black background. We're going to have to remove that black background because we're going to make the t-shirt black, and I'll show you how to do that. But here is the artboard, 720 by 1200, and the way you can do that is to go into your transform palette and make sure when you click on here, just type in 750. You can see right here, 750 px, 1200 px. That's the size we need for a PlaceIt. So now I just want to drag in this design. I have it all grouped, so I'm going to ungroup it. Let me go to my layers palette. You can ungroup it here as well. So I just want the design. And because the design is vector, I can scale this. So I can scale it up and down, and it still retains that nice look, right? It doesn't get pixelated because it's a vector, it's not pixels. So let's just make sure it's the right size. I'm going to zoom in here just so we get it right. And you can use some centering. That kind of helps right there. So center it and put it above. And you're going to be able to move this on the t-shirt too when you're in PlaceIt. So now that I have it right here, you might want to check sometimes it doesn't look exactly right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a black background behind it just so I can see it. We're going to remove it later, but you can look at it and just make sure everything is right. The outline looks good. Everything's good, right? Okay, so now remove that. So remove the background and you just want the picture, the graphic here, right? And then click on this. I do Command Option Shift S, or you can go to your thing and export, go to your menu and export, but the quick key is Command Option Shift S, and it's going to pull up this export. And then click, instead of area, click selection only, just to be safe, and export. And then you can call it whatever you want. I'm going to just call it mockup, just because it's going to be a mockup, or you could call it PlaceIt Mockup, just so you know. And save it to your desktop, and there you go. So now we're going to go back into PlaceIt and put this design on the t-shirt. So here we are back on PlaceIt. I have my image on my desktop. I'm going to click on this Insert Image and upload from your device. So once you select your PNG file from your desktop, you'll see something like this. And you can crop it, make it bigger or smaller. So this is where you can just move it up and down as well. So I like to move it up kind of towards the top here and then kind of center it like that. And then just hit crop. And you're going to see it on the person right here. So because this is a white t-shirt, you're going to want to change the t-shirt. They have some default colors. So let's look at it on black. And you can see if it's too big or too small before you save it. So I think it's just a little bit too big. I'm going to resize it right here. You can resize. So I'm going to make it smaller and just kind of play with it until you get it right. Yeah, that looks kind of right. Maybe I want it a little higher. So let me do that again. So there it is, just a little higher. I'm going to crop it again and just play with it until you get the right placement on it. So you want to make sure that it's right above the chest, right size for the person. You don't want it going too big. And then this, I'm just going to pick a color for the leggings. We're not going to put anything on there, just black leggings. And then I might want to change the color of the shirt. I know I can do black. I can do all these colors, right? They have some preset colors. So I can go in here and just pick any color I want. Just find a color that I want. Or I could do a custom color. Let's say this red isn't the red that I want. I can hit more and actually go down to red and like move it up here and choose that as a red. So like a brighter red. So that's how I'm going to do it. And you can see it says free download. This is one of the free downloads. So once I'm happy with my design, I'm going to hit free download. And you can just hit free. So it is free, completely free, but they do want you to sign in. So I forgot about that actually. So I'm going to log in here with my name and password, but it's still free. And you're just making an account to get free stuff. So once you sign in and everything or sign up, you'll get this My Downloads, and it's going to be processing. It's going to take a few minutes to process, and then you'll be able to click here, click the download, and then it will download to your downloads folder if you're on a Mac, or I don't know where it puts it on a PC, but it will just download to wherever your downloads go for your download folder. So let's find that, and then we'll bring that into Affinity Designer, and I'll show you how to make the mockup that I do for Instagram. So here we are back on Affinity Designer. I dragged in the download. You just go to your downloads folder, drag it into this spot. I made a new artboard. This is my Instagram post artboard. Instagram posts are 1080 by 1080. So same thing, you want to go to your transform palette, make sure it's 1080 by 1080. And you can see that the download is way bigger than the Instagram post, which is great because we always want to size down, not size up. So if you, especially for a JPEG, which this is, so any file that is pixels, not vectors, you're going to want to make sure you only size down, not size up. So I'm just going to take this and just size it down, clicking the corner, and just fit it into the square. So you can see this is too small, so I can size it up. Here it is. I kind of want to make sure that the shirt is the right size, but I don't want to cut off the person's head either. So I'm going to, whoa, too big. Let's see. Right about there, I think is good. Just kind of center it. So you can play around with this wherever you want, right? But just make sure that the shirt, the design, people can see it on your posts. The head isn't cut off. I mean, sometimes it's okay to do that kind of cropping, but if I can avoid it, I do. So just kind of center it right here. And that is the beginning of it. I'm going to now add my logo here and available at Amazon right here. And I'll show you how to do that. So first, let's add my logos. Here's my logo, Detour Shirts. You can see it's a vector. So all the points there, it is not a PNG. But if it was, I would only want to size down. But because it's a vector, I can size up and size down, but it's pretty big right now, so I'm only going to need to size down. And I'm going to size it down to about here, put it in this corner right here. And then I like to put a white outline on my circle. So let's go here into my layers palette. You can see there's a circle right there. I'm going to put a white outline here, and I'm going to put it on the outside. So remember that. If you saw that technique, I'll go to stroke and put it on the outside. And then make sure that it's still big enough. And the reason for the white outline is because I never know what the background's going to be. So my circle is kind of dark, so it'll be okay if it's on a light background. But if it's on a dark background or an orange background, the same color, it may kind of just fade into it. So with that white outline, it kind of just works on everything. So that's why I do that. The next thing I want to do is put at Detour Shirt. So I'm going to click on here and type in at Detour Shirts. And you can use any font that you want. I just like using Helvetica New right here. And I'm gonna size it down just to make sure that it's the right size. I'm gonna use like a 8, maybe a 9. And you can control that here. So just type in 9. And depending how long your name is, right? So just put it right there. I'm going to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. So here I am, Detour Shirts, right by my logo. I'm going to make this white. And then here's one of the other tricks. So you never know what the background color is going to be. So I'm going to put an effect on it, and it's going to be a blur. So you're going to see here, just click on here and then go to effects. And then I'm going to put an outward shadow. So you can do outward shadow, you can do Gaussian blur, whatever you want. I'm going to do outward shadow. And here are some tools, but you can get more tools by clicking this gear here, layer effects. And just watch what happens. So I can do the radius bigger, I can do the intensity bigger. And let's just play with it until we have something that works. So right there, I have my settings at, let's say 50. Let's do 50, just so it's even. 50 pixels for my radius, and my intensity 58. Why not make it 60? Just make it even. All right, and then I don't have an offset. Offset is kind of moving it up and down. I want it centered. So there you go. And then the angle is for the offset, so you don't have to worry about that. And close. And then that way you can see it kind of has that black blurred background, so the white shows better on it. And that's what we're going to do there. So that's how I add my logo. The next thing we're going to do is add available at and wherever we want to put it. I'm going to do Amazon, but you can do whatever you want. So for the next step, I'm going to do an oval here. So just go to your ellipse tool right here. Click on that and just make an oval. You don't need the stroke. We're going to make the oval white, fill, no stroke. So make sure it's pure white. And you can kind of just eyeball it. That's what I do. So I'm going to just put it right here. And then we're going to type in available at, just with that same Helvetica. And make sure that it's black. The text is black. And we can size that down. Let me zoom in so we know what we can see what we're doing. Okay, so now that we're zoomed in, we can do this better. Available at, and then I'm gonna just size this down to fit. And we're gonna just put this at the top. So the next thing we need to do is put, Amazon, RedBubble, TeePublic, wherever you're available at, Etsy, you can put that here. So we're gonna go to the internet and find us some logos. So here we are on Google, and we're just gonna type in whatever we need here. So I'm going to type in Amazon logo, and let's see what comes up. Let's see the images, and we're just looking for one that we can use. I like using Amazon logo transparent. That kind of helps so that we don't have to knock out the white. So Amazon logo transparent, and let's look at the size. So when we click on here, this one's 5,000 by 31, so that's pretty big. If we do something that's too small, well, that's big enough right here. Let's do, available at Amazon. We can just use that instead of typing Amazon, available at Amazon. So let's just do that. I'm gonna save this to my desktop. Save image as, and then whatever you wanna call it, Amazon logo. That way we don't even have to type available at. So that really works. Let's look for RedBubble, for example. So RedBubble logo transparent. Let's look at this. Okay, this is a good example of it might be too small. Remember I said that you want it to size down and not size up. So let me show you 280 by 280. Remember for Instagram, it's 1080 by 1080. So this might be too small, but I'm going to save this to show you what happens if it's too small. I'm going to save this to my desktop, and I'm just going to call it RedBubble small. Okay. So that would be a good example, but we want to look for something bigger. Let's look at this one. 1024 by 208. That might be okay. Let me save this one too. Save as. And let's just look for a big, just a round one. Yeah, 920 by 920. I'll show you the difference. I'm going to call this one RedBubble Big. Save image as RedBubble Big. Okay, let's get back into Affinity Designer and let's put this all together. All right, so here we are back on Affinity Designer. I checked, and this one actually doesn't have a white background or transparent background, but that's okay. We're gonna show you what it does. So this is the small one, this is the big one. If I made the small one as big as the big one, you're gonna see this. Let me show them side by side and zoom in. So you're gonna see some pixelation going on. This is what I'm saying. When you size up a PNG, you're gonna see kind of this pixelated view, where this one doesn't have it because it's that size already. And you can size it down without any problem. You can size this down below what it is and you won't see the pixelation, right? So if you don't need it that big, then you can do it, and you're gonna have to mask that out. But so this is just to show you the difference. You wanna pick the right size of logos. Of course, you can't sell these logos, but it's okay to put it on your design because you are selling on that platform. So it's okay to say, I sell at RedBubble and use the logo. Just don't, you can't put this on t-shirts or stickers and try and sell the RedBubble t-shirts, right? That's wrong. So let me show you the other things that we found. I'm gonna get rid of these. So available at Amazon, we found that it was transparent. So it's gonna fit right into there nicely. I think we're gonna size that down. And let's just go zoom in. Oh yeah, look at that. And if it doesn't fit nicely, if you wanna pick the ellipse, you can click that and then just bring it in, you know, like that, and make it fit. So that worked out really nice, available at Amazon because it's one thing. But let's say you didn't have that, or you don't sell on Amazon and you sell on RedBubble. Let's try this one now. This is the other RedBubble logo. I'm gonna bring this in. And we have our available at that we made. And let's just zoom in closer to kind of play with this here. Available at RedBubble. And again, we can move this around and just make it work. So there we go. That's what I would do for my Instagram post. You can see my tag right here, or my logo, my branding, just to make sure that this photo, if it's used again somewhere else on Instagram, they're either going to have to cut it off, or it's going to show my branding right here. And then available at RedBubble, just to let people know where you can find my t-shirt, or Amazon is what I usually do, but you can do that. So hopefully this video is really helpful for you. Let me know in the comments if you like doing Instagram posts like this, or mockups, and if you've ever used PlaceIt. I think it works really well. I like using PlaceIt. It just looks very professional, and it's really easy to put your design on a t-shirt that way and change the t-shirt colors, and just, it's really flexible. So I like using it, and I have a subscription for it. You don't have to have one. Like we showed, you can do some free stuff. This is actually a free photo. So that is it for this video. Thanks so much for staying, and your reward is another edition of Trend Credits. Thanks for joining me for this trend credit. Here is your trend, Easily Distracted by Dragons and Books t-shirt. You can see the results here, not too bad. And I don't know why DS Amazon Quick View isn't working, but you can't see the BSRs. But if we just look at this one, let's see. You know, very low, super low, 46,000. And a lot of them are low as well. You can check yourself. But let's check Merch Informer. It's getting an A, so you know it's good. If you don't have Merch Informer, I have a link in the description for Merch Informer where you can check competition, and you can look at some of these things. You know, Easily Distracted by Dragons and Books, 50 sales, a lot. And you can do cats and books. Now, this isn't a bigger niche for reading and books. If you look at that, you're going to see a lot of other really good ideas. It doesn't have to be dragons and books. I wanted to show you this trend because a lot of people are reading during the summer, love to read books during the summer, and there's kind of like reading programs to do that. So take a look on Amazon, come up with ideas, do a search on Google for different ways that you can, you know, do a t-shirt for people who love reading and love books. This is just one way to do that. Easily Distracted by Dragons and Books, more for a fantasy reader, I'm guessing. So take a look at these designs. Don't copy these. These are just for inspiration, but you can see there's lots of different ways to do that. Don't just copy what other people are doing. Maybe come up with a way that you can do it yourself. So some cute ways to do it as well. And nice dragons. So it doesn't have to be dragons. I'm just showing you one example. So this is your trend for this video. Easily Distracted by Dragons and Books. Of course, do your own take on it. Do your own take on reading during the summer. It's a huge niche. So that is it for this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully this was really helpful for you. If it was, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. You can hit the one right here in the corner, or just on my page. So thank you so much for watching. And the question for today is, what social media apps do you use? I like to use Instagram. I like to use Facebook and Twitter. Let me know in the comments what social media apps you use for your print on demand to help you with that, or help you sell t-shirts online. I'd love to know. And if you want to see more how-to videos, click on these videos right here. I'll show you how to do some other things for your print-on-demand t-shirt selling business. And as always, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.